boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. And you're not so big. Life is unfair.
Hello and welcome to Flick Check. I'm your host, Andrew Woltman, and with me as always, my sidekick slash bandleader, Discount Paul Schaefer. Hi. Oh, what are you doing? Well, you know, I'm getting ready to cook. Cook? What are you talking about? Nope. Stop that. Stop. We are not doing that.
I dare you to give me a reason. It's not a good idea.
I can give you several reasons. Number one, it's illegal. Number two, my dad's a cop. Number three, that's not a respirator, that's a Bane mask from last Halloween, which will do absolutely nothing to protect you from gas. And number four, you don't have the knowledge or the materials to do it. And number five, I think you're just pandering to fans of Breaking Bad.
You know, you never let me have any fun.
This is what happens when we don't have a rehearsal. Okay, movie news. It has been announced that Bill Murray has been cast as Baloo in Disney's new version of The Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau. Of course, he's going to do what he does best, chase animatronic gophers. In similar news, Paul Feig has been attached to direct Ghostbusters 3. You might know his films Bridesmaids and The Heat. So he's probably going to bring along his version of Leonardo DiCaprio, Melissa McCarthy. After an extensive will they, won't they, Quentin Tarantino has confirmed that his film The Hateful Eight will be made and will be released in 2015. Finally, Marvel producer Kevin Feige has given us a small description of what to expect from Scott Derrickson's Doctor Strange movie. He says to expect it to be almost like an acid trip, with lots of colors, very, very trippy. And he compared it to Cosmos from renowned physicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, so it should be very science-based.
Yes, science!
Knock it off, Paul!
Perhaps you'd like The Walking Dead better?
Stop it! Stop! I don't even watch The Walking Dead.
Oh, you'll love it. Last season, Daryl took his crossbow and he...
I didn't say I wasn't gonna watch The Walking Dead.
Oh. Sorry.
This week, we are talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
So here we are, a thief, two thugs, an assassin, and a maniac. Who are you? We're the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who? Forget it.
Guardians of the Galaxy in theaters August 1st.
That's right, Guardians of the Galaxy. Ba-damn. Some of you regular watchers might remember that I went to an advanced screening of some footage from Guardians of the Galaxy a couple weeks back. Now that I've seen the entire movie, what do I think? I still love it. It is still fantastic to me. I said last time that it reminded me a lot of Star Wars, and I think that's an apt comparison. Because just like in Star Wars, we're thrust into this world that we pretty much know absolutely nothing about. We meet all these characters, and they don't spoon-feed us exposition. So, it kind of feels right. I love the style. It's funny. It's action-packed. It never goes overboard on either aspect. So, it respects the audience. That's what I love about this movie. The adventure, the fun, it has all the style of Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and It's like they took the best parts out of all three of those. I'm very thankful for what James Gunn did. It also feels very character-based, too, rather than plot-driven. Like, we get to explore Star-Lord and Groot and Rocket Raccoon through, like, conversational style. Almost like Tarantino, where it's based mainly on how they interact with each other, and that teaches us more about them than any sort of backstory can. So, I thoroughly enjoyed everything in it. After the show's done, I'm probably going to go see it again. Now, the acting, Chris Pratt, as I've mentioned, this is the first time someone's been cast as a superhero, and I actually knew who the hell they were beforehand. And I still think that he was an excellent choice for Star-Lord. He's cunning, he's bold, he's funny, he reminds me so much of a young Harrison Ford. Like, he has that kind of brash style that blends well with the rest of the ensemble, but you can still see that he's going to be a major movie star. I've mentioned also before that I was most skeptical of Rocket Raccoon being done by Bradley Cooper. I kind of feel like he's got a handle on it. This is a talking raccoon. Something that could basically be CGI'd with Adam Sandler's voice. I was worried that something like that could happen. But Rocket Raccoon, if you read the comics, he's a very, very relatable character. He's just so dark and brooding, but at the same time, he cracks wise. So, they really got the essence of the character down, and he steals almost every scene. But the real surprise, and this is something that I didn't get to see much of in the preview trailer that I saw a couple weeks back, Dave Bautista, who hasn't done much acting before this, he really stands out as Drax the Destroyer. Now, you can argue that he's kind of flat, but that really works for what the character's meant to do. He's just this dark, brooding guy who wants vengeance. And he won't stop until he gets it. And he has like this one quirk where he doesn't get any sort of metaphors. Everything goes over his head, although he's too quick that he stops it. He's very funny because he does take the character seriously, and that adds a lot of humor. He's a perfect straight man. I feel like he could do well as an actor, and that he could be just like Dwayne Johnson, who I personally think is a great actor. Thank you, Paul. That is much better. Okay, so I'm going to stick with my original grade of check plus, but I really love this movie, so I'm going to add another plus. So it's a check plus plus. The only other movies that have received that grade so far this year are Cheap Thrills and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So they're going to have to duke it out for the top spot later in the year. However, this is not going to be my only review of Guardians of the Galaxy, because stopping by the studio in the next 2 to 3 weeks is my good friend, Mr. Isaiah Cox. So stay tuned for that. He's a lot of fun! Okay, and later this week we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I'm not totally looking forward to it. Let me just get the record straight, because this is a misconception a lot of people have come to me with, and I just want to clear the air. Michael Bay isn't directing this movie, he's producing it. So, there's a chance it could be good. I'm open-minded. I'm not going to judge it before I see it. I don't have high hopes for it, but I didn't have high hopes for the RoboCop remake either. And that was better than I thought it would be. So, I'm going to see that. There'll be a review later this week. Maybe we'll order some pizza. Okay, once again, this is Flick Check. I'm your host, Andrew Woltman. And I'd like to thank Discount Paul Schaefer for being with me once more. Where can they find us online, Paul?
Well, you know, as always, they can find us on Facebook at Flick Check with Andrew Woltman. Like, share, whatever. And on Twitter at AndWalt. Walt with an O, not an A. He gets it all the time.
That's right. Also, you can find me online at PlacetoBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world. We're actually working on a series right now called Movies of the Generation, where 10 of us send in lists of the top movies out of any given year, and we rank them 1 to 5, and we write a review for each one. Now, people on this panel include myself, Nick Duke, Russell Sellers, Greg Phillips, Katie Price, all great people. Very, very nice. So, please check that out, PlacetoBeNation.com. Do you have any sort of dance for us today, Paul?
Why not?
Okay, and remember, if you're not sure about a flick, let me give it a check. Have a good night.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.